What's up? I'm Jon Bodan from Halcyon Way. I'm the lead guitar player, and we're going to do a rundown on my rig. Alright, so the first thing we've got here is I have a deal with Brian Moore Custom Guitars out of upstate New York. They're a boutique guitar maker. Been making guitars for probably 25 years or so. This is my signature model. This is a C90 Nail Head. So if you go on their website, iGuitar.com, you can actually buy this if you want to. Basically, the body is made out of mahogany, and it's got an automotive paint job on it. I've got EMG 81, 85. These are wired at 18 volts. Been playing EMGs for years. I love them. Got an endorsement deal with those guys, and they've treated me really well, so that's super cool. Right here, I've got a custom inlay. This is brushed aluminum, and this is the Halcyon Way logo. We've had this logo for 10 or 12 years or so, so it felt right to immortalize it. But so that's one of the features of it. On the back here, you got Spurzl locking tuners. So tremolo on this guitar is actually a Wilkinson. It's not a Floyd Rose, which is what really most metal guys use. I like the Wilkinson because it's not going to go out of tune grossly if you break one string. If you get a Floyd and you break a string, it's typically you're just done. So what I like about this is that you've got the locking tuners, which keep it in tune and kind of approximates the locking nut that a Floyd Rose has got, but you're able to do all the things that you need without the tuning risks. So another thing that I think is super cool about this guitar is it's got some diamond plate armor here on the back, which was something that you know, when we were designing the signature model, I was like, this has got to happen, because you know, this is an easy spot for a guitar to get really beat up at. And the first show that we actually did after I got this guitar, I didn't have my strap locks installed, so I did kind of one of these numbers, and the thing fell off the strap, fell straight down right on the armor, and it didn't have a scratch on it, so that was pretty awesome. Now, of course, this is actually the prototype model of my signature model, and so, you know, for the first, I don't know, 6 months or so that I actually owned the guitar, I was like, oh man, don't look at it, don't touch it, don't scratch it. So we're on tour in the UK about 3 years ago. There's a real low lighting truss, and I went like, bash that in there. So that was kind of the first war wound. Then got a couple more like that. Then we were in Milwaukee a couple years ago, and the local crew guy was like, hey, let me take that to your dressing room. So he took it to my dressing room and mangled it. So at that point I was like, well, it's done for. So it's all scuffed up and just all beaten up now, but it's all good. This is a beautiful guitar, so if you're looking for something to play metal with, you need to check this thing out. It's a very fast guitar, it's very comfortable because of the sculpted radius here, and it's just really hot pickups. It's good stuff. I have got D'Addario 10 to 46, so they're actually pretty light. We play in drop C in Halcyon Way. A lot of people are like, oh, that's too light, you need to use like 52s or whatever, but I don't really like doing that. So kind of makes it harder for me to solo, so that's why I go with the 10 to 46. This is my backup guitar, and this is also a Brian Moore. And this is a C55. So this is a different custom shop model that they offer. This one has got, well, guys in the band call this the Twilight finish. After the movie. They're dicks. EMG 81, 85, again wired at 18 volts. D'Addario 10 to 46 strings. And it's also got the same Spurzl locking tuners. Now, one thing that's a little bit different about this guitar is when it came from the custom shop, it had a piezo, or piezo, I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, but that's a pickup built into the bridge, where it'll actually sound like an acoustic guitar if you turn that setting on. I actually took that out of the guitar though, because I found that I wasn't using it. I've actually got 6 of their guitars, and I've got another one that has that feature, so if I need that in the studio or whatnot, I use that one. But this is a super cool guitar as well. I've had it for about 10 years. Love this guy. Alright, so this is my rig, and it looks a little janky because of the way we've got the stage built tonight, but a lot of guitar players, they like to put tons and tons of stuff in a rack, lots of pedals, whatever. That's not my thing. I actually like to keep it really, really simple. So my rack is dead simple. First thing is that we work with frameless amps. So this is my Framus Cobra 412. I love this cabinet, I love Framus. I've been using their amps for quite a while, and I've been super happy with them. If I go into a music store or something like that and they've got Engel or Wagner or whatever, I'm like, yeah, those are cool, but I've just stuck with them. I'm the kind of person, I find something that really works for me and I stick with it. So that's what these guys do. Company's been really good for us, really good to us. They've backlined a lot of tours, but so this is my 412 here. Now, like I say, I like to keep it really simple. The head that I normally use in my home studio is a Framus Cobra head, which is super high gain. Tone is kind of a cross between probably a 6505 plus and maybe a Mesa. It's got a lot of low end, but it's also got a lot of clean high end definition, a lot of saturation. It's really, really super cool amp. However, it's a very hot rodded tube amp. And when you're traveling 15,000 miles on a tour and you've got a super high gain amp in your trailer and it's 20 degrees out or 10 degrees out, it's probably not a great recipe for success, because I've had tubes bust and things of that nature happen on the road before. So basically what I did is I went ahead and I invested in a Kemper, and unfortunately it's sideways here, but this is the Kemper Power Rack 600. So this is the powered version of their profiling amplifier. So what I was able to do is I did a profile of my very rig. Actually, my buddy Lasse Lammert, he's the guy that's mixed all 4 of our albums, he did it. And so I have a profile of my rig right in this thing. It weighs about, I don't know, the rack maybe weighs 20 pounds. So it's just super easy to transport, super easy to deal with. My load in consists of taking the front and the back off the rack, plugging in the speaker, plugging in the power, plugging in my wireless, done. So it's super easy to deal with. Wireless here is a GLX D4. I've been very, very happy with this thing. I had another wireless prior to this that I did probably 5 tours with. It was a Line 6 Relay G90, I think. And constant cutouts, belt packs broke, cables went bad, just all sorts of problems. And just really couldn't get anywhere with that thing. Couldn't find a fix. So got rid of it, picked up the Shure GLX. It's been just dead solid ever since then. I've been super happy with that thing. Beyond that, I've got a couple of other small things. First one, this is metal. It's very loud. Ear protection. They're kind of grimy. You probably just got a shot of my earwax. Sorry. These are Etymotic, the filters. They cut off 30 dB of the sound, but they don't actually kill any of the frequencies or anything like that, and these are custom molds of my ears. So these are a necessity. I wear these to any show, any loud noise, anything like that. If I go to a football game or something like that, they're in there. So this is a must for me. We also have this handy thing. This is from Home Depot. It's for screws or nails or whatever, but we use it to carry our picks around. Now we're at the end of the tour, so we're almost out of them. But all 3 of us use Intune Grip X, and these are 1.5 millimeter. So Skylar told you a minute ago, I think, that they don't flex at all when he plays the bass, and that's true. You can barely bend them even if you're really trying. This is a man's pick. So don't let anybody with a floppy pick fool you. This is a man's pick. But we all 3 of us use these. Super cool, very good for definition. Helps you with your right hand technique. It's good stuff. Got one other piece of my rig. This is a Tech Pm9. This is a company out of Nashville that makes microphones that we work with. And just really high-end boutique type stuff. We use the Pm9s on stage. Love these things. And then in the studio we use a CV4, which is a tube microphone. It's kind of, you can kind of compare it to a Neumann or a Telefunken, but that's what we use to cut all of our vocals in the studio. But Tech have been very good to us. We love their stuff. I think this is the 6th tour I've done with this microphone, and it's still like just killing it. So good stuff.